It's silent, but they can hear it. And then Dudley comes on and he'll introduce
We're so glad you tuned in to Promise Christian Live today. We have a great program for you. Our regular viewers know that this weekly broadcast is produced by Promise Christian University, and we want you to know that too. You see, this university is dedicated to the goal of making efficient the efforts of ministers, of teachers, evangelists, and others who have dedicated their lives to proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ to people in all walks of life. Dr. Mike McKinney is president of this great university in Pasadena, and he is host of our TV show. Mike, who is our guest today?
Well, thank you, Dudley. We're so delighted, of course, to bring very interesting guests to our viewing audience every week. And today is no exception with a dear friend in the Lord today, our brother Jay Valencia. Brother Jay, good to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much, Dr. McKinney.
And you have such an interesting background. I know our audience is going to be very excited to hear about the many things that you're doing in our community and also in the Philippines. God's kind of put you in a dual position. And I understand that you can expound on it, please, if you would, that you are the honorary mayor of Filipino town in Los Angeles. Is that right?
Correct. The first duly elected mayor of the Philippine Town Incorporated in Los Angeles.
Oh, my goodness. And how did that come about?
We have contemplated the dreams, Doctor, because, as you know, a lot of multi-ethnic communities have their own town, like Filipino town, like Chinatown, Vietnamese town, and other, other multi-ethnic groups. So the Filipino leaders in Los Angeles have a dream of their own, which is the Filipino town right now. So we have submitted the resolution to Honorable Eric Garcetti in 2000 so that we can be recognized at the City Council. So the Filipino town was recognized and signed by Honorable Mayor James Han at that time.
Oh, I see.
But Philippine Town Incorporated is a separate one because it's a non-profit organization. But we were instrumental in having our Filipino town right now.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? And you to be the first duly elected mayor of that Filipino town. What a great honor! You must feel very highly blessed to be in that position, and so actually you are the official representative to the City Council of Los Angeles in that area, right?
During the inauguration of the Filipino town, we were invited by Honorable Mayor James Han at the time, and there were some dignitaries and some other community leaders who witnessed the entire proceeding.
My. What a great honor. And I understand that the Filipino community, the American Filipino community, is really growing. It's quite extensive in Los Angeles, isn't it?
As a matter of fact, we are the second largest multi-ethnic community right now.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's marvelous. So you're helpful in and keep bringing forth the needs of that particular community and so forth as a result.
Correct, Dr. McKinney. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. And your background, I was reading a little bit of your bio, and I'm so, of course, if I read it all, we'd be here all day. But just to highlight some things in general, tell us a little bit about your background from your early, I know that you were born and raised in the Philippines. And what was your, did you feel the area that God was calling you to do? I know you're also a Christian, but what was the thing that you did in the Philippines? What area or profession did you come into finally?
Before I came here in the United States, I remember vividly, it was October of 1979, and it was on the advice of my mentor, Senator Ninoy Aquino.
Oh, yes.
And that's the reason why I came here, because martial law was declared on September 22 in 1972, or September 21, and we were among the student activists.
This is the time of President Marcos,
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, doctor. And he proclaimed martial law according to him because, rampant criminalities and some other, problems in the country. But we, among the community, especially Senator Ninoy Aquino, were instrumental in fighting for the complete democracy in the Philippines. And I was humbled and honored to be mentored by this martyr right now, who is the father of our president, Benigno Simeon Aquino III.
What an honor, because I know that we remember here in the United States, with Senator Aquino, we saw, of course, what happened at the airport when he returned back to the Philippines after many years living abroad and working, as I understand, a professor at Boston University, and then coming home, and then the tragedy of the assassination. But during that earlier time, you were one of the young students and one of the young men who were being personally mentored by the famous Senator Aquino. He would probably be equivalent to John Kennedy, something like that, right?
Well, to me, doctor, I can compare him with Martin Luther King.
I see.
Because, Martin Luther King was famous on his I Have a Dream.
Oh, yes.
But Senator Aquino, he was famous as an icon in democracy.
Yes.
Because for all his life, he fought for the complete restoration of democracy. And I was a community leader in our own province at the time when I met him. And it's really quite an honor to be with his election campaign during the time that he was running for senator in our country.
That's so impressive. You must have been thrilled as a young man to have that opportunity to be personally mentored by this marvelous, great hero, national hero of the country. And now today his son, of course, is the president of the nation. And marvelous. And so what was were you a student at that time? Were you still in school or going to school?
I was attending on my college law at the time.
Okay.
And then, Senator Aquino, one thing about this honorable man, his word is his bond.
Oh, yes.
When he says something, it's like a gold. When he shakes his hands to you, that means to say it's like a written contract.
Like a written contract.
Written contract.
Wow. That handshake meant everything. He was really a man of honor and character, wasn't he?
And also a man of integrity.
Yes. Yeah. Marvel. Well, I know that you've certainly heard that as well, Brother Jay, Dr. Jay. I know that we're so proud of you. Tell us some of the other things. So you were you a businessman? Did you go into business and so forth, or after that, or what were you
When
doing?
I came here in 1979, I was honored to work with the mayor right now, the incumbent mayor of Los Angeles, Honorable Antonio Ramon Villaraigosa.
Yes.
Modesty aside, I am the first Filipino-American who was his special assistant when he became the Assembly Speaker in the state of California.
Oh my, what a great privilege.
Thank you.
And I know you've remained very close friends even today, up to today.
We were instrumental together with my family and my friend, Mr. Marco Falma, whom graduated from UCLA, also with Honorable Antonio Villaraigosa. The first political campaign and his political elected office was in 1994.
Oh, I see.
In the 45th district, when he became the assembly member in the 45th district, and I was among the key leaders who was helping him at the time on his first elective office.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you've been very involved in the community, and you're still involved in the Philippines too, in a manner, aren't you?
I am very honored to have the confidence of a former candidate of our country, the Republic of the Philippines, in the person of Bishop Brother Eddie Villanueva.
Oh, yes.
When he came here and I was introduced to him and his lovely wife.
Yes.
You know, and the electricity, the energy, and the contemplated dreams in effecting change and good governance in our country
Yes.
was developed during the time that I met this man. And you know, as you know, Doctor, Senator Aquino passed away. You know.
Yes.
And now I can tell you, in all my heart, with sincerity and with honor, that my hero right now and my idol is Brother Eddie Villanueva.
Well, thank you for saying that. You know, we have a very close connection with Brother Eddie, and I was just with him recently in the Philippines. We had some conferences, leadership conferences, and I was able to be one of the keynote speakers at the National Transformation Conference at San Juan Arena. And Brother Eddie, of course, sends his regards. He thinks so very highly of you, I know. And although he didn't get to be the president, he is continuing to doing a great work in the country through his ministry and his outreaches, you know, all over the world. But it's great to have you as a friend, and I know he really is very happy to have you as his friend.
Oh, thank you. As a matter of fact, when he was here, I told him, you know, Brother Eddie, if you will get elected as our president, you know, I strongly recommend Dr. McKinney to be the one to sworn you into office.
Oh.
And he was so excited about it. And because I know when he was our guest, he was telling us that, he told us that you were the one who ordained him.
Oh, well, yes.
You know, as you know, and this is he's a great man. And when we had a fundraising in Eagle Rock, it was, you know, I was moved, and the community leaders, key leaders from the Filipino community were moved because his ideas and his contemplated vision and ideals and mission for our country is, you know, not only great and also for the good of our Filipino people.
Yes.
But most importantly, this man is a God-fearing man.
That's true. That's
Make no
very
mistake
true.
about that.
That is very true.
And as I said, and I was going to say again, is next to Senator Benigno Aquino, Ninoy Aquino, when it comes to fighting the real democracy in our country.
Yes, yes, we've always highly regarded and respected Brother Eddie and the marvelous heart that he has for besides the Lord, which is number one, of course, but his heart for the nation, which is so very close to his heart. I noticed too, Brother Jay, when we were in the Philippines, especially when we went on to Hong Kong and Taiwan for meetings, there are so many Filipino workers in these countries that are living abroad and away from their families. We were very touched by that. I didn't realize the extent of that. Would you like to elaborate a little bit on that?
Oh, as of now, there's a very recent, you know, problem, especially the Filipino people working in Libya.
Yeah.
You know, our government right now, President Noynoy Aquino,
yes.
is trying his best to help these Filipino workers.
Yes.
And, you know, I am impressed by his sincerity and also that his vision for our country is second to none.
That's right.
Because he's trying to follow the footsteps of his mother and it's also his father, you know. And to me, he's doing a great job right now, and we are now being respected around the world.
That's true, yes. I noticed that. And in fact, when we were there, one of the pastors in the conference is an economist, and he gave an announcement that Wall Street said one of the next places to invest is the Philippines. And that was a great announcement. You know, the people went very excited that day, you know, a lot of applause, you know, and everything. And so that is very true, that the Philippines is respected all over the world, you know, and you must feel very good about that.
I feel very good about it because, you know, now that we have a president who is the son of great parents.
Yes.
I think this is my opinion, Dr. McKinney, and I know sometimes, you know, some people have some reservation on our president. But I don't think, in my own personal opinion, I don't think he will sacrifice the good legacy of his parents.
Right.
And I think when he said that, I will going to eradicate corruption and I'll make it sure that the Filipino and the country of the Philippines will be respected around the world.
Yes.
And I believe on him because he will not going to damage or jeopardize his personality.
That's true.
And
yes.
this man is not only a very humble man,
yes.
but he is also a great senator during the time that
I
he
was
a
told
senator.
that. I heard that he was very effective as a senator, and of course, as you say, the legacy of his parents is just wonderful. Both of them were just so outstanding. And Cory Aquino, of course, being his mother, it's just marvelous. And so, what are some of the other organizations, Dr. J, that you're involved in the community now? Would you say?
I am the incumbent president of Bagong Pilipino and Bagong Pilipinas. This organization, actually, that we have this Bagong Pilipinas in the Philippines, which is spearheaded by Dr. Brother Eddie Villanueva.
Oh, yes.
And when he came here, I was honored to be appointed by Vice Eddie Villanueva as his advisor in international affairs and political affairs.
Wonderful.
From the Philippines and the United States of America.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Yeah. And you and I see through this list of many things that you're involved in within the county, in the city itself of Los Angeles. What are some of the things that the Filipino community now is doing within the city? What participation are they doing now?
We are trying to help the World War II veterans.
Okay.
To be recognized and to be honored with their valiant efforts during the time of World War II. As you know, Doctor, they were given $15,000 for those who are naturalized citizens, but for those who are not naturalized citizens, they were only given $9,000, and their spouses were not, entitled to that. So we are trying to get the attention and get the help and support of all the legislators, in Congress, to sponsor a bill that can, honor and recognize these World War II veterans who fought side by side with the American. And also, we are trying to help these nurses at Kaiser's right now who have been trying to have this patient, patient care. And also, I was, I was also the first Filipino-American administrative vice president of SEIU, UHW at the time, now National Union of Healthcare Workers Union.
I see. Well, so you're actually helping in all these areas, and I like that part about the recognition of the World War II veterans, because we know that at Bataan and Corregidor how they so valiantly, side by side, fought with the Americans against Japan, of course, and many of them were also prisoners and part of the Great Bataan Death March. And I know our government is still honoring them even up to now, right, with medals of honor and some of the bravest men.
Correct, Dr. McKee.
Oh, my goodness. No wonder you have such a heart for this,
My father-in-law was one among the World War II veterans who was at Bataan Corregidor during the Death March.
Oh, my goodness.
And
he survived it, right?
He survived it, and he's now living here in Los Angeles. But the thing that, infuriates a lot of Filipino Americans, is that their sacrifices in defending the United States is not really, they did not really recognize them.
I see.
For their valiant effort. And until now, they have not received the benefits and the recognition that they are contemplating for.
Well, we're all hope and pray that they'll be receiving all the benefits that they certainly deserve, and in the days of the war, and how valiant they were and faithful and committed to freedom, and we certainly honor those men. And I saw one older Filipino gentleman last year sitting in at the airport in Manila, and he was wearing his the cap, with all the medals. And so I went over to him and I said, "Sir, I want to thank you for serving." I told him I was a chaplain as well, and that we realized that it was because of men like him that we're free today. And he and his wife were crying, made me cry.
Yes.
But there's so many like that, aren't there, Brother Jay?
Oh yeah, there's so many, and as a matter of fact, as I've just inculcated a while ago, we are seeking the help of a lot of Congress people and also senators.
Oh yes.
In the United States for this World War II to be given the anticipated recognition and honor that they deserve.
So right now, would you say it's being considered in Washington now?
Yeah, we are. We have some Congress people and senators who are trying to sponsor a bill for them to be recognized.
Yes.
And we have some congressmen and senators who are really willing to help these World War II veterans.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That's great. And what are some of the other things that you would like to do as a community leader, as you are? And what would some things in your heart that you would like to do within the community, if you could?
Well, first thing and foremost, Dr. McKinney, in the Filipino community right now, I think we don't have no much political empowerment. There were only very few elected Filipinos.
I see.
And what I am contemplating is that I think we should indulge more on political empowerment.
There should be more participation among the Filipino Americans in the political scene.
In the political
running
arena.
for political office and
Yes,
so forth.
yes.
That would be wonderful to see that.
Yeah.
And I think you're very correct in that, because there's so many that are so brilliant and so capable. I know they would do a great job in government, And I think that's so very, very wonderful that they would even contemplate something of that nature. And we'll just hope and pray that that's going to happen in the near future, that more participation will take place. And what would you like to see then in further days, besides the political office? What would you like to see Filipino Americans doing now in our communities or even throughout our nation? What would you like to see them doing?
Foremost, Dr. McKinney, is that I know that unity is very hard, to achieve. But what I am contemplating for is that I hope Filipino Americans all over the world will be going to be united.
Yes.
In one area that is for progressive, that is for the betterment of our country and also for the betterment of the United States of America.
That's wonderful.
That is the contemplated dream that I am contemplating to be realized, because I think we need unity among Filipino Americans, not only in the Philippines but also in the United States.
All over the United States. Imagine if that unity comes about, what a tremendous voice it will lend, not only for the United States but for the world. Because as you said, it's so the Philippines is so highly respected in many countries, and the workers that are sent and assimilating into these cultures and making an impact. It's just so wonderful, and we appreciate the history of the Philippines with the United States since 1898. Correct. We've been partners in that part of the world, and I think I would say, wouldn't you say that the Philippines is probably one of our greatest allies in Asia?
Correct, Doctor.
Marvelous. And we're glad to see, being the Philippines the only Christian nation in the hemisphere, the great evangelistic work that's going on. And I understand now the Philippines is sending missionaries to other nations as well.
Correct.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Well, Brother Jay, we're so honored to have you on the show today. And for those that don't know, Dr. Jay is one of our candidates this year at Promise Christian University, 2011. He's being considered to have an honorary doctorate of humane letters for his tremendous work he's done, not only in the Philippines, but here in the United States among the Filipino American community. And we're very proud of that, Brother Jay.
Thank you very much.
To know somebody like you that's doing such a great work within the community and continues to be involved, and it's great. Have you always felt in your heart that you wanted to do something like that? You've always felt like a person who wanted to be involved?
It is embedded in my heart, Dr.
Right.
McKinney, to help anything possible, not only in the Filipino community, but also in other multi-ethnic communities as well.
Yeah, you have a heart to help the country and help the people and do these wonderful things. That is just great. And if you would like to look into that camera and talk to the Filipino Americans that many are viewing this show here, even in Pasadena, that what you would like to see them do you mentioned involvement. Would you speak to their hearts just for a minute here?
I think it's time for us Filipino Americans to be united and also to have a common goal and also to have a mission and vision for a united front that we should set aside. We should set aside our, differences for one big goal, and that is unity. And also one of the most important things that we can do right now is to unite not only Filipino Americans, but also be involved in other multi-ethnic community and help our country. Our country needs our help. Aside from the remittances and the money that we are sending right now, we have to help our sitting president, President Noynoy Aquino, I think, and also his cabinets, and also we have to pray for their success.
Wonderful. Brother Jay, I want to thank you for being on the program today, Dr. Jay, and we're looking forward to, your that great day coming up of the graduation this year in 2011. So thank you, and we're delighted to know you. Thank you for being such a great friend to Brother Eddie and to us and to the Filipino American community. God bless you real good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Well, Dudley, again, we just praise the Lord today for this program.
Well, Mike, thank you very much. And you who are viewing this telecast can also thank Mike for these most inspirational programs. Now, Mike donates his time to be host of Promise Christian Life, and for this, we're very grateful. You can express your thanks to him by phone or email. The phone number is 1-888-723-6233. The email address is mypcu@aol.com. Here's wishing you, your family, the staff here, and especially Mike and his lovely wife Adele, peace and prosperity. And we applaud the McKinney's generous dedication as a team to Promise Christian Life and the ideals for which it stands. See you next week.
They can't hear us, so we'll just act like it's just. You're such a busy guy. It's hard to get.
Yeah.
I'm glad you could have the time to do it.
This,
Yeah, it's coming up.
No.
Lots of that's a beautiful book, You know all these folks? Judy Chu, yes.
She's now a homeless woman.
Yes, she sure is.